Morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss another poem which is prescribed in your course, and that is Robert Frost, Birches. It's a very famous poem. You must have heard the name of the poet Robert Frost. He was the poet who was very much liked by our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and he likes his poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening very much. And he always used to keep the lines of that poem on his table. That woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep. Miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So, these are the lines of Robert Frost poem. Robert Frost. And you must have read his poem Mending Wall. And now, this year, the poem Birches is prescribed. Now, what is birches? Birches means the branches. It is used for branches. Now, let's learn something about Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet. He was born in San Francisco, but he lived most of his time in New England, in the rural area of America. The experience of the countryside of rural background plays an important role in his poetry. The description of a human relationship with nature is strongly found in his poetry. The human relationship with nature is presented very skillfully, very beautifully in his poem. The duality of meaning has made his poetry more interesting. There is ambiguity, there is a double meaning of his poem in his words. There is wisdom and intellect in his poem. His poetry is full of intellectual exercise. Now, let's know about something about Birches. The Birches is a well-known poem of Frost. It is a beautiful description of trees covered with snow. New England is a cold country, and when there is a snowfall, the trees are covered with snow. Now, what happens to the trees when they are covered with snow for a long time? This experience is described in this poem. And look at that how the poet speculates and very minor details, very common things are described, and with these common things, with these common elements, he wrote this beautiful poem. When the sun rises, when the trees are covered with snow, and after some time when the sun rises, the snow is cast away as the crystal shells. The snow particles fall from the trees in the form of crystals, and they shed a different light. In between the description, the poet reminds us that common activities of young boys and girls swinging upon the trees. In the rural area, the villagers, they don't have any other activity, they don't have any other play, they don't have any other facility to play other games. So they swing on the branches of the trees. It is a very common practice. The poem also reflects the anguish of the poets. Now, what is anguish? Sometimes it seems like a pathless foot. Life seems to be a forest when there is no way in the forest. So sometimes some circumstances comes like that when you don't have any hope, any way to work upon it. And the poet uses many phrases which work like counterpoint. For example, ice storms do that, ice storms do that, and the earth is the right place to for love. The poem is based upon a common activity of countryside. The poet reflects his views upon the bending of the trees. When the poet come across the scene, the trees are bending, so he speculates on why they are bending. Initially, he considered it the work of young boys, that some village boy has done it. But he thinks that snowfall also makes the trees bend down. But he corrects himself that when the trees are covered with snow for a long time, so they are unable to resurrect to stand up. So during the winter season, trees are loaded with all over for a long time with the snow. The weight becomes unbearable, which make the trees bend down. When the sun rises during the season, it creates cracks in the form of enamel. The outer surface breaks down. The snow spreads different colors and it falls to the ground in the form of crystal shells. The snow which was covered on the branches of the trees, when the sun rays falls on it, so they come out, they fall down in the form of crystals. Sometimes the shattering takes place suddenly and the snow falls in the form of a heap. The poet compares that it looks like that inner dome of heaven has broken. Inner dome of heaven has fallen. A traveler to the countryside can see these trees bending to the ground afterwards. So after a long time, the trees were unable to stand up. They trailed to the ground. Frost is a master craftsman in establishing human relationship with nature. He compares the trailing branches to a very commonly activities of the girls when they dry their hair and they bend down on the knees and they look at and their head is open to the sun. So similarly, the branches of the trees bending to the ground looks like the activity of the drying of the hair of the girls. In this way, Frost connects nature with mankind. Frost thought, he also thinks about the village boys. They are unable, they are unknown to the city games. Moreover, they have not the facility to play even the basketball, the baseball you can say, which was the national game of America. Therefore, the villager boys use the branches of the trees as a swing. They entertain themselves with the branches and they use it as a swing. The poet gives the credit to these that swinging on the trees is an art. The poet also points out that the swinging is not an easy thing. It is also an art. It requires skill. Otherwise, the branch would carry away the person clear to the ground. If he is not careful, the branch would carry the person to the top of the tree. In this way, it requires same patience as we try to fill a cup to the brim, as we are very cautious when we fill a cup of coffee or milk to the brim. So similarly, these boys were very careful when they swing on the trees. So it is an skill which requires a lot of practice. Thank you.